What's up, Dave? Only took me more than three tries to get this streaming crap right this time. They changed everything around. There we go. Let me see if I can get this thing just a little bit better. What's down there? All right. Yeah, so Sunday, I've been out running some errands, was coming home, and just up the block from me, somebody's getting ready to move. And they had this thing sitting out by the curb, big sign out that said free. So, not that I really need a lawn tractor, but I was like, I'll check that out. So, grabbed it, came back home with it. Luckily, it was all downhill because it wouldn't run. So pushed it back down the driveway, threw the battery charger on it. Waited a little while. After a bit, I was able to crank it, but didn't seem like it was getting any spark. So started looking into that. Sure enough, no spark at all coming out of it. Grabbed went down to local farm and home supply, got a ignition coil and a plug for it, and it fired right up. But I have a oil leak someplace, which my suspicion is, from what I've read, I'm guessing it's a head gasket that has blown. So that's the task today, is to replace the gaskets on it. Got a new flywheel fan and screen shroud, do an oil change on it, and get this thing running good. So that's the plans. Be right back. Yeah, that's what I thought. I got a little yelled at first. I said I was going to bring it home. Got told, you don't need to bring a lawn tractor home that doesn't run. I don't care if it is free, but that tune changed about an hour later. Drove it around back and started cutting the backyard with it. So, all right. Let me bring it up. Um, well, that was kind of initially the plan, was to fix it up and then try to sell it. But my parents are actually getting ready to move here fairly soon, and I was telling my dad about it, and they're wanting to get some land. So he's like, "You're not going to keep it. I'll get it off you." So I guess I'm going to be selling it to my dad or giving it to him, something like that. What's up, Matt G? How you doing today? So you off today, Dave? Oh, okay. So I guess, I don't know, can you still go live, or do you have to have one of those special apps or software to do that with your, I don't know how many subs you're up to now. That's cool, Matt. You guys got some nice weather going out there? Yeah, I usually do it through my computer, which is what I'm doing now. I'm using my Surface, which I've never used before, and they changed it around on me. You've got to find the little saying for webcam versus guess what they consider streaming, and it that took forever. That took like 3 tries, and finally I got it figured out to be able to get it going on here. That's not bad. I was out in Denver last week, and it was like upper or well mid 70s the entire time. I come back. I was down around Memphis yesterday. It's just absolutely beautiful down there. It actually touched 80. I agree, Dave. I agree 100%. I'm live on YouTube right now. Are you leaving? Oh, okay. That's all right, Dave. I get that. I watch a lot of streams when I'm driving or have them on at least and listening. A lot of times it's even hard to just pay attention to the chat, you know? See you later. Well, heads off. Definitely has a gasket issue there. So let's get this thing kind of cleaned up and checked out and everything. Boys, it's not in too bad shape. Only had 130 hours on it. So it's not like it's anything ancient. In fact, I think date code on it was from like 2009. Otherwise, it's not in bad shape. I've got a few things, Matt. I'll probably have some videos up on sometime here. I guess the last thing I got, they had that buy one get one on the half-inch semi-deep impacts. You buy the standard or metric half-inch semi-deeps, and you got the 3/8 matching standard or metric with them. And I didn't have really any impact sockets, so I picked that up, and I didn't have any half-inch stuff. So now I've got a set of standard and metric half-inch semi-deeps in impact, and then also same thing with the 3/8. So that was kind of one of those deals that was kind of hard to pass up. They weren't, too terribly expensive, so worked out good. So, back in that, your website quite straightforward. 2 people in here today. Well, I guess it came out surprisingly easy. Yeah, now we got Creeper Dave. Might be Nick. Maybe he's trying to learn about working on a tractor, from somebody who's never done it before. This is something I have never done before. I was kind of hoping Robert would be in here to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Seriously? Yeah, pretty much. So how's what is it, fire pigeon, Dave? How's that going? Well, I get that. One of these days I need to go back through your videos and catch up on everything with that. All right, we'll let that thing sit for a few minutes. See if it starts to break some of that stuff down. Let's see if I can get you guys into a better position where I can see you and you can see what I'm doing a little better. That's a little better. Oh, I guess maybe I'm thinking of your Instagram where I'd been seeing you throw some updates on there of it. I was thinking you had some videos out there. I got so many different people I've got, I'm subscribed to that I try to keep up with everybody and, you know, stay up with their videos, but it doesn't always work. Matt, you still in here? What projects you working on these days? Yeah, I guess so, Dave, unless YouTube's your full-time gig. Who else we got in here? I don't know if Matt's still here or not. David, have you seen the? I saw a video on Facebook this morning. I think it was. Somebody used a excavator to steal an ATM. I think down in Florida. I'll try to send it to you over on Facebook here later today if I can find it again. Just took it right through the side of the building, just started digging out the building, scooped it up, dumped it like on top of an SUV, it looked like. Yeah, if I remember right, it stopped right after they dropped it into like the top of an SUV or a van or whatever. Um, so I don't know if the excavator was just sitting there alongside the building or something or close by, and they saw the opportunity and ran with it, or what. I don't remember if there's really much of a story with it. Like I said, I'll try to find it later and send it over to you. Just don't get any ideas. Still waiting to see you on a live stream, wait for a Brinks truck to drive past or something, and you just scoop the whole thing up. Come back a little more here with it. Hey, Brian. It's a little John Deere lawn tractor. It was sitting out by the curb down the street from me, and saw it Sunday and had a sign on it said free, so I brought it home and had to replace the ignition coil and plug on it to get it running, and a battery in it too. But the battery wasn't really keeping it from running; it just kept it from starting up. But it's got oil leak on it, so doing a head gasket, valve cover gasket, a couple other just little repairs on it. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, the house that it came from, they're getting ready to move. So I don't know if they were even the original owners of it. It only shows that it has 130 hours on it. It's about 10 years old, but it runs good. Just has an oil leak when it's running, spewing oil out all over the place. So, I've got less than $100 in it right now, and it seems to work fine. So did you end up getting one of those sets of the panel tools, Brian? Yeah, when I talked to my dealer about them, I had just seen them on somebody posted the kind of flyer page on them on I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or one of those places, and I immediately texted the picture over to my dealer and said, "Hey, can you get me a set of these in green?" He texted me back about 15 minutes later. Man, he goes, "You're quicker than I am." He goes, "I haven't even got that flyer yet." He goes, "But yeah," he goes, "they're in the system." He goes, "I just ordered you set in green." He goes, "Probably be about a week before I get them." And it's like, all right, cool. So, and after he got them in, or after I got them, and we were talking a couple weeks later, he goes, "Yeah," he goes, "I finally got those in for my stocking order." He goes, "You have no clue how many guys are jumping all over those." And he goes, "You were the first one on my route to even ask about them." Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on who all the dealer, or who all your dealers servicing too. I mean, if they're mainly servicing like like maybe heavy equipment dealers or something, they may never have or heavy equipment mechanics is what I meant to say. They may never have a use for something like that. Um, but you'd think the dealers would at least, you know, stock them for the other guys that could use them if they have other people on their route. And let's see, text it. Hey, Beer Box. Been a while since I've talked with you. Probably, I don't know, maybe Dave or Nick's stream last time. Yeah, I have been. I've actually flown to 3 different locations so far this year. Oh, I guess you call it West LA, Detroit, and latest one was Denver. And man, all 3 of those were just nonstop. Like each one of them, I worked till probably 10:30, 11 o'clock at night each day. Oh, you are, Brian? I just got back from there on Friday. Well, Denver. And man, it was gorgeous out there. I mean, like last day I was there, it touched like upper 70s. In fact, I think the gauge in the rental car said um, maybe like 78 or 79 when I was dropping the car off. Oh, that's good. But I guess you working from home, you don't really have to worry about that too much. But yeah, I saw that. I think between tomorrow and Friday, up north of well north of me, up probably closer north of Chicago, Wisconsin area is going to probably get, I guess, the some of that storm. Yeah, we've had a couple like that. Around here this year. Well, this season, I should say. By Rochelle, the roads were completely empty, and the only thing open were grocery stores, liquor stores, and 7-Elevens. Yeah, we got we got hit one time. I think that was before the first of the year, and nobody thought it was going to dump what it ended up doing. And I mean, they kept talking like close to 18 inches, and I think we ended up with about 18 to 20 inches at the house here, and some areas just west of us had just shy of like 3 feet, and we stuck in the entire weekend. Shoveled snow like 3 times. Each time we were shoveling about 8 to 10 inches off the driveway, and then guess it was finally Sunday afternoon. We went out and cleaned up the rest of the driveway, and I think I had to leave out that Monday, so I took the truck and the SUV up and got gas in all those, got all the snow off of them, and got it all cleared out to where we could use the drive again. So much ice on my garage door. I had to pound the door just to get the door open. Here. No, still here in South Carolina. Here in South Carolina, Toolbox? I thought you were out in California for some reason. Yeah, Brian, we didn't have it that bad. We had a little bit of ice with one of our storms, but it's mainly just a lot of snow. A lot of heavy, wet snow. What part of Indiana did you live in? Oh, okay. I this is back in the late '80s, early '90s. My family moved up to South Bend for a few years, and I usually go through Detroit about every other month, or not Detroit, sorry, Fort Wayne, on my way to Detroit about every other month these days. All right, catch you later, Brian. Probably be on here for a bit. Jeez, I've been going an hour already. Wow. All right, I'll let that set for a bit. Oh, sit up. My back's starting to hurt. So, what? If you're still around, Beer Box, what part of South Carolina are you in? Okay. I've done lots of work down that way. Let's see. A lot around Spartanburg, Greensboro. Hill. Okay. I think I've been over that way. Let's see. Right. When was that? October. I was down in Newberry, South Carolina. Like before that, the last time I was down that way, I was down around Charleston. But done a lot of work, like I said, around Greensboro, Spartanburg, and Fort. What did you say? You said Rock Hill. Oh, do you really? Man, I wish I would have known that. I was working there at the craft plant. Oscar Mayer or Tyson, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Fort Mill, I think, which is right south of Charlotte, just across the border. Spent a lot of time up there. few years ago. Company based out of there, they were putting trackers on all their equipment. They brought all their instead of sending me around to all the different locations, they brought all their mechanics in for about a week or two, and I went through all their different types of equipment, did an install on basically every single type of equipment with them, and trained them all, and then they went through and did all their own installs on their equipment. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wondered if that's what they did down there. I remember the first time I went down there, which would have been 2013, I think. I just remember the trucks coming in hauling live white turkeys. And I don't know, it might have been labeled as Tyson at the time, if that's possible. I don't remember. And that's now like 6 years ago. So. No, I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri, but I travel all over. So generally, my territory is about a 10 to 12 hour drive of St. Louis. So like Newberry was like kind of right on the limit of that. But because of another site I was going um, to save my customer a lot of money, since I don't have any text down that way right now, I went ahead and just drove down there and then went to like two other sites as I was heading down to the final site. So it all ended up working out in the end. I seem to spend a lot of time in Tennessee. In fact, I was just down in Memphis yesterday, and been there 2 or 3 times since the first of the year. And usually I stop at Jay Young's place on my way back or on the way down. Just depends on how the schedule's looking. And they stop in, say hi to him for a bit. Do you remember the name of the company? If you're looking to do that type of work, I don't have a whole lot down that way right now, but I'm always looking for guys, and especially to do like service call type work, which isn't anything exotic or difficult to do. It's not a bad gig. If you can find some place that can keep you busy enough and keep you local, I mean, that's great. But I'll tell you, I don't know too many techs that do that stuff that usually aren't on the road just about every day. Unless you live in I mean, even like St. Louis, we're, I don't know, say 1.2, 1.5 million people around here in the metro area. I couldn't even keep myself or another tech busy just in the St. Louis area. And you really have to watch some of these companies. I mean, they may be good to work for, but they'll send people out on never-ending projects, basically. We'll have like fleet work, and you might be out for 2 weeks, and then, I've had some guys tell me they would sit around for days, not getting paid, sitting in a hotel, because vehicles were on the road or whatever, and they wouldn't, since they weren't actually doing any install work, they didn't get paid because they were getting paid piecework. But we hire a lot. We just hire guys as contractors, not really anything full time. I've got like probably 2 other guys that kind of consider full time. My one guy up in Northern California, he probably does about somewhere 40 to 60 hours worth of work for us a month. But a lot of times he's got to go down to like the LA area. Now, like last time I was down that way is because he was on vacation and we had to get this done. So gave me an excuse to fly out to warmer weather for a couple days. But if you don't mind the traveling, it's not that bad. Just make sure you got a good, reliable car or truck or van or whatever you're running out of. And especially if you're looking to do it full time and get on the road, I mean, make sure that they're a good company to work for and not going to cheat you out of your money. Get everything in writing, that's for sure. I'll tell you, doing, like the upfitting of vehicles like that can be a really good gig. I mean, every now and again, I've got a couple customers that, they'll call me up, have me come out and, like throw strobes or like the little light bars on their trucks. And, once you get around to knowing what you're doing with it, it can pay pretty good. I'll just say if you're thinking about like selling the stuff to them, just get a name brand product. Try to get a line on a name brand product. Don't just like go on Amazon or eBay and buy stuff, because you'll be out there swapping the stuff out like every other week. Because that stuff just breaks down over the, for their continuous work on them. Two trucks. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's the key, is to make them look good, and you'll definitely get repeat customers. When I moved down to St. Louis, I moved down here to work for a two-way radio shop, and we mainly did police cars or municipality vehicles, but the shop I worked for, they really didn't care, how you installed it, as long as it worked, and preferably it didn't keep coming back. But because of the service contracts they had with a lot of these places, they, really didn't even care if it came back, because that meant that they got paid again on it. So. Well, here's the head almost cleaned up. Well, there's the head. There's the valve side, and you can see the nasty RTV gasket all around it. I'm going to get that cleaned off now. It just depends. Right now, my main customer, they do a RFID based yard management system. So that's where I do the yard trucks. That's what I was doing down there at Kraft. Most over the road, well, they do put some stuff in over the road trucks, usually like tablets, that they can use for the drivers can get their moves and stuff off of. But not so much the last year or so, since the logbook mandates passed now. But there a couple of years ago, we were pretty hot and heavy on doing the electronic logbooks. When all the companies were mandated to have those in by, what was it? end of 2017, I think. So yeah, we did a lot of them then, and I've done a lot of them over the years. Between tracking and log books too, even before they were, the mandate was out there. Um, but also do just like fleet vehicles, so pickups, cargo vans, dump trucks. Uh, Sometimes we do trailers, stuff like that. Um, just depends. Most companies, like us, they're pretty well. Sorry to use the term, but whores when it comes to the work. If the work's there and the price is right, we'll do it. Now, let's see. Are you what, like a fleet mechanic for the city or county there? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, I guess being a smaller area there, it probably everybody ends up doing a little bit of everything. Hey, Brian, welcome back. We're still here. Good. Where's that piece? Two those bits. Oh, probably, Brian, but honestly, it's not that difficult. I mean, the hardest thing with what I'm doing to it is just getting all the old stuff, all the old gasket and everything cleaned off of it. Um, I mean, it's dirty, but otherwise, I mean, it's in surprisingly good shape for, kind of everything that was wrong with it. Um, and it kind of gave me a project to do because I had been kind of on a little type of mechanical project for a bit now, and this is the nice kind that doesn't cost much and something I can pretty much do myself. I stopped by Robert's um, place a month or so ago. It's surprising. We don't have that big of a yard. It's maybe like a quarter acre. I mean, I can push mow the whole thing in like an hour most of the time, and never even considered having a riding lawnmower here. And I was telling Dave earlier, I'm probably just gonna, after I get this thing fixed up, and my parents are talking about moving down this way and getting some land, just give it to my dad. So they've got a rider to use, and but since I've had it, I keep thinking of all the different things I could do with it. From like aerating the yard or dethatching it. With the various little pull behind attachments you can get to. Um, yeah, I gotta see how much land he gets first, Brian. But yeah, when he told me that, I'm thinking, oh, great, he can get like a diesel tractor, with an end loader on it, and all the great attachments that he tells me. He wants my little 19 horse that I found. And I'm like, well, he's my dad. I can't really tell him no. So we'll see. That's still a little ways down the road yet. They haven't even found any land or made any attempts at selling their place. So still got a few months before he probably even gets to the point where he could consider needing something. So we'll see. Some sort. Yeah, it does have a beer holder on it. Has headlights that work. Yeah, I mean, everything on it functions good. Just that oil leak. But hopefully I should have that taken care of here shortly. And it looks pretty good. We'll just get it dried up. And it's a Briggs and Stratton. It's just a single cylinder, so it's not, a V twin, I guess is how they're calling the two cylinders these days. But I mean, this would just be like a Home Depot Lowe's grade. The John Deere LA 115, if you wanted to look it up. These were apparently known for blowing out the head gaskets on them. Everything I read on them online, this particular engine is pretty renowned for doing that. But also I found that they have since upgraded the head gasket on them. So it's less likely to blow out this new one. Well, kind of. I mean, just I got the head off of it. That's about it right now. So, all right. Set this up to the side. All right, let's get these parts open and give that a shot. So, yeah, I basically got all the scraping and got all the old head gasket off. So from everything I read, it was 220 inch pounds. So I don't know, that'd be what, probably pretty close to 18 foot-pounds. Does that sound about right? There's a new head gasket. Okay, I guess we're getting here so I don't lose it. All right, Kitchler Beer Box. Thanks for stopping by, and go on my about me. I got my email address on there. Shoot me an email sometime. Talk to you more on the, if you are interested in doing some side work or something sometime in the future. But give me a shout. All right, who else we got in here now? Food, forest, permaculture. How you doing today? Well, don't remember your name, but welcome back. I know we've talked in the past sometime, maybe on one of Brian's streams, possibly. All right, let me see if I can fill my 4-inch torque wrench now. Basic too. No, thanks, Food Forest Permaculture. I don't do much on here, but sometimes I have some decent stuff on here. Most of my stuff's been a lot of like tool videos with stuff. I don't remember how to adjust this damn thing. Yeah, unfortunately, my 3/8 only goes down to 20, and I did read that you're supposed to do them at about like half. So I guess like 110 inch pounds, then jump up to 220. So I don't know what you can see here. Taking off, Food. Have a good evening, man. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna drop off of here then and go run down the road and get a little 1/4 inch torque wrench. Since I can't find mine, so I'll probably hop back on here a little later. So, all right, guys, catch y'all later.